So let's start today's session. So today we are going to see one of the important class, backup. So this is not only a class for MCSE. In our day-to-day life, even we can take a lot of advantage whenever you store the data. Um, to understand like what is backup and how to take and how to recover. So let's say we'll go to direct server here. So the last session we also discussed about hard disk, and regarding hard disk we discussed like what is the use of hard disk, how to make partition, and how to format the partition with certain file system. So right now like I'll be using a server. On the top of my server I'll be having multiple partitions. So one of the partition I have for my operating system. I also have a separate partition for my D, E, F. So like this. I'll be having multiple partition here. Okay. So one of the partition available here like C, where I'll be using my operating system. Apart from that, I also have another partition where you can see I have another partition. So it may be I'm going to store my company data. I'll be storing my user profile data. I'll be storing my Hyper-V data. One of the partition I also have where I'm going to keep my project information. One of the partition I created where I can keep my applications. Okay. So like this, we divided our hard disk into multiple partitions. Okay. So basically, it is not compulsory to have multiple partitions. One partition is also enough. But if you have multiple, now you can able to understand. You can organize your data so that whenever you want to access any information, so basically you can access with the help of certain partition here. Okay. So when you talk about the data, so data is very, very important. It may be a personal data, or it may be a company data, or it may be any kind of data. Okay. So either we use personal machine, either we use the machine in our company. It may be like the school machine, college machine. Okay. So all the time the data is very, very important. Okay. So sometime it happens. Let's say I'll be using a lot of partition here. So one of the partition I open, and for me some of the folders are created here. So right now you can see there are some folders created. So one of the folder like I'll be using Azure. I also have different folders, and each and every folder I am going to maintain a lot of information here. Okay. So sometime it happens. Let's say we have a folder here HYD. Simply I right click, and here I'm going to say delete. Okay. So whenever if you right click and if you say delete, so will that information deleted from your computer permanently, or it will be available somewhere? So whenever if you simply right click on a folder and if you simply delete, so these folders are not deleted permanently. Still we have option like we can open the recycle bin. So recycle bin we have in our desktop. So you can open the recycle bin. On the recycle bin, you can see there will be a lot of files which I deleted previously. But for me, the data is HYE. So from here, simply I can right click, I can say restore. So now one more time, when I go to my machine, when I open the C drive from where I deleted, now the folder is again available. Not only you get a folder, even you can also get the data whatever you deleted. Okay. So from recycle bin, you can also restore the data. Okay. But instead of right click and delete, now imagine from keyboard I select, and from the keyboard I'm going to press Shift plus Del. Okay. And here the machine try to give you some warning message. So are you sure you want to delete this data permanently? And by mistake I'll say yes. So it is not compulsory like all the time you are deleting the data. Sometime by mistake something happened. I want to delete VMware folder, but instead of selecting VMware, sometime maybe I deleted some other thing. I don't want, but by mistake, accidentally, some of the other folder may be deleted. I want to delete something, maybe you deleted something else. Okay, and by mistake, we are very, whenever you try to say like shift plus del, so you directly say yes, I'm deleting. So once you try to delete from the keyboard, like when you press shift plus del, so now can you from where you can from where you can get it. So whenever something happens, like whenever you press shift plus del, so that is not directly come to recycle bin. Now the data is permanently deleted. You cannot get it here. Okay. Now instead of deleting a particular file, a particular folder, now let's imagine I'm going to format my complete partitions. Okay. I have a partition. On the top of partition, maybe I'll try to store some data here. Maybe I have something here. And maybe my partition is full. Simply I right click. Instead of deleting one particular file, one particular folder, by mistake, maybe not me, maybe somebody else or somebody maybe by mistake, now this partition is going to format. Okay. So here it's giving warning message. Format will erase all the data on the disk. Okay. So are you sure you want to do this? I'll say yes. But after some time, I realized, the data which I store, I don't see anything here. So in this situation, what we are going to do, to whom we contact, from where we are going to recover, as well as, for me, the data is important. For me, this partition, this hard disk is not important. At any cost, I want that information. Okay. So in this situation, what actually we are going to do? So one of the responsibility of administrator, all the time, you need to think about the backup. Okay. So if you have a backup of data, then now if you delete 100 times, now we have a possibility we can recover anytime. Okay. Maybe you deleted complete partition, maybe you deleted maybe a particular file, particular folder. Now we can able to recover anytime. Okay. So in today's session, we are going to discuss like how we are going to recover the data which you deleted maybe accidentally, or the data may be affected with viruses, or the data may be deleted somebody. So we are going to recover these things. Practically, we are going to see that. Okay. So let us understand first of all, like what is backup. Okay. And in today's session, I'm going to show you the default tool which you get from the Microsoft. And for that, no need to install anything. Even I'm going to show you some kind of application. With the help of application, also we are going to recover that. Okay. So in today's time, when you go market and when you try to explain about your problem, so the people, they will recover when you go computer shop, when you go to the market, so they will recover with the help of certain application. So even I'm going to show you like how we use applications and how to perform certain tasks on that. So first of all, backup is nothing but it is a utility, or we can say it's a tool. It's a tool of administrator that enable you to protect the information. Okay, that means even though you deleted, now for me I don't have issue. I can recover that. Okay. So what we are going to recover? We are going to recover the data in terms of partition. It may be a file, it may be a folder which is accidentally deleted or affected with viruses. So what were the data which you store in your machine? So here I have a lot of partitions. So it may be the data of your C drive, it may be a data of your any partition. We are going to recover that. Okay. So there is a procedure. You cannot simply say, okay, you can do anything at any time. Okay. So first, let's talk about some applications. Okay, then I'm going to show you the default tool which you can use from Microsoft whenever you install a Windows operating system. Okay, so first of all, whatever the practical which I'm showing in here, don't do this practical in your personal machine. Do everything in your real virtual machine. Okay, whatever the virtual machine you created, it can be a server virtual machine, it may be a client virtual machine. Do the practical and don't do any experiment on your physical device. Okay. Why? Because I'm not taking any guarantee if you delete something from your machine, and don't call me like we deleted data, we want to recover. Why? Because the method which I'm showing, okay, sometimes we misuse this method also. Okay. So let us see. This is my personal computer and I'll be using 3 partition here. I have total 500 GB hard disk and The 500 GB I divided into three partitions. One is like C, D as well as E. Okay. So one of the partition I open, and here you can see I have a lot of data, and I make a separate folder. So that we don't have any confusion, I make a folder. So the name of the folder I want to create MCSE, okay, online class. Okay, so just for our understanding, so MCSE online class, I created a folder, and that folder we are going to keep some information. So files may be a text file. Where is that? Yeah, here we have a folder. So files may be text file. Files doesn't mean only text file. You can even have, there will be some pictures. You may have video, you may have presentation file, document file, PDF file, anything, whatever you want, you can keep it. Okay. So just for a small example, I created a folder, and that folder, hello. So we created one of the folder on my computer. So I can show you one more time, like what I created on the top of E partition. So we created one of the folder here, online MCSE, and that folder we have a lot of data here. Okay. Now this folder I'm going to delete. So how I'm going to delete? So if I right click and if I say delete, that means again it will go to recycle bin. From recycle bin again I can able to recover that. But I don't want to recover from the recycle bin. So I instead of right click and delete, I simply select that folder, and here I'm going to press Shift plus Del, and here I'll say OK. So now that folder is completely deleted from my computers. Okay. So right now I don't have any information related to that online MCSE. Okay. So in this situation, what actually we are going to do? So either if the data is very, very important, either you can go market, you can talk to the computer people, and those people, they will recover, but nothing is free. Again, according to the data, you have to pay amount to the people. But instead of, contacting to these people, so you can do everything from your side. Okay. So once we finish the class, you can able to do all the recovery from your side. Okay. So first, I'm going to show you some application. Then even we'll try to discuss like how we can recover with the help of certain tools. So whenever you have a problem like this, so what you can do now, you can go Google, and here basically we have many applications. Okay. So applications, are easy to use and easy to download, and as well as easy to install. Okay. So there are many applications we can try. So one of the application we have says data recovery software. I tried this application. It's very useful application. But remember, the applications are free to download, free to install, but sometimes recovery is not free. There are some applications, whenever you want to recover a data by this, so these application people, they need to get a license. License in the sense you have to purchase the key, you have to get a license from this kind of application, then only you can recover. Okay. So one of the application we have says data recovery software, and this is you can easily recover whatever the data you deleted. So one of the application which I tried, we also have like iCare data recovery. Okay. So like this, we have hundreds and thousands of applications today we have in a market. Okay. So don't only depend what I'm showing, there will be many applications. Okay. So we have a lot of application in the market. Okay. So even if I write like top 10 backup recovery software, so here you have multiple names. Okay. And as I told you, don't need to backup software. Okay. So here you can see there will be many names. Okay. One of the name we have Acronics, we have ESES, we also have Cobian, FB Backup, Cobian. And remember, I'm not saying like this is number one and this is number two. No, there will be many applications, and the way you invest money for marketing, so those name you will be seeing here. There are many applications. Okay. So in my case, I already downloaded one application. So I'll show you what application I downloaded. So one of the application I downloaded here, which I already installed, ESES Data Recovery, and I don't have a license for this. Okay. So first, let's see, like if you don't have a license, then what we can do. Okay. After that, we'll be using another application. The next application which I'm using, we have, let me see, yeah, here we have the application. So Wise Data Recovery. So this is also one application from where you can also recover what you deleted. Okay. So let me open this ESET Data Recovery. And this application we use only for recovery purpose. I'm not taking any backup. So it's asking for update, but I don't want any update, but because I'm not recovering from here. So this application, whenever you want to recover, you require money. You need to activate. Okay. So right now you can see. So here it is saying either you can buy or you can activate. So first of all, it's asking like from which partition you lost your data. You want to recover the data from your C partition, from D partition, or from E partition. Okay. So in my case, the data from where I deleted. So I deleted from my E partition. In E partition, there was a folder like online MCSE data. So that folder I want to recover, and it was in E drive. So I'll click E, and here it will try to show you like till now whatever files and whatever folder deleted, it is going to scan and it will show you each and everything. Okay. So right now you can see on deleted, I have a folder MCSE, VMware, and there are many. But for me, this is important. I don't want all. And in that folder, you can see there are many files. So either you can recover one particular file, one particular folder. Okay. So I'll be giving a check mark here. So once you check mark, then automatically selected all these options. So when you say recover, automatically the computer says, what is saying? Now the trial version is preview only without recovery. Go professional to enjoy more benefits. And how much we need to pay? If you already have a license fee, you can put and directly you can activate from here. Now if you don't have, now you can even buy. So how much we need to pay? So and this is a lifetime license. Okay. So almost sometimes we have to pay a lot of amount here, but right now it's asking only like 7,000 rupees almost. So from here you can buy, and you can put your credit card details, then you can buy, and this is for the lifelong. But we don't have any key here. I can't recover with this application. So instead of using this application, I also have an application where I already have a license, and that application I have Wise Data Recovery. So when you open this application, so sometimes like based on application, you may also have, different options. So he is asking again, the new version already came. So I don't want to update right now. Maybe later I'll do that. So first of all, here also method is different. The screen is different. So here also I have to decide like from where I deleted my data. So I lost my data from E partition. So I select E. On the top of E partition, I have it is going to scan. And here you can see a lot of files available, but I want this folder right now. And here I'll be putting check mark to each and every file. So whatever you want, you can recover. Then recover. So again, it's asking like, okay, in which location you want to recover? You want to recover the partition from where you deleted, or you want to recover on desktop, document, download, or you want to recover on separate hard disk or separate other partition. Okay. So wherever you want, you can recover that. So I'll be recovering. So what I do, I cancel it right now, and I make a separate folder on the desktop. The name recover. Okay. So one more time, I'll say recover, and I'll go to the desktop. On the desktop, I got a folder here, recover, and I'll say recover. So again, based on the size of the data, it takes time. So I don't have a lot of GB data. These are only like text and picture files. Okay. So recovery has done. So when you open this, when you're going to open this folder, so whatever the data you deleted, now that information automatically comes with this application. So this method is very simple, and this application is especially designed only for recovery. Okay, you cannot take a backup. Okay, but when we are using this application, make sure you need to have a license. Then only you'll be getting the advantage. If you don't have license, and by mistake you format complete partition, you cannot recover. Okay, there are some applications which use in a trial version, and they try to give you 1 GB space, 2 GB space only for the recovery. Okay, in that time, maybe I download one application, and that application supports it is allowing me to use for free for 1 GB. And based on that, I deleted complete partition. I deleted this 100 GB partition. So I can recover only 2 GB, 1 GB. Rest of the data I cannot recover. If I want to get that information again, I need to get a license. If you have a license, okay, no problem. You can also recover that. But these applications are very simple to use, very easy to recover, and everything is very, it's not like complicated. Okay. But as I told you, these applications need money. You have to purchase from the internet. Instead of this, now we also have another method. So what we can do, so whenever you install any Windows operating system, any Windows, it may be like XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 10. So whenever you install any Microsoft operating system, from Microsoft also by default, we also have a tool. There's a tool. So with the help of the default tool, we can also recover. But to use the default tool, first you have to prepare backup. Okay. The reason why we use application we use only for recovery purpose. Whatever the data you deleted, it is going to recover that. But when you talk about like the default tool which is available, so this default tool you can use if you whatever the backup you have done. Let's say I have taken a backup of D, then I can only recover the data of this D drive. Okay, so according to my requirement, maybe I'm going to take backup of C or G or E. So whatever the data is important, I can take a backup. Okay, now let's see where this tool is available. So to use your tool, you have to open your control panel. So I'll show you here. So first login. So right now you can see this is my computer where I have a lot of data, or maybe some of the folders I can create. Now I have a folder, or maybe I can have multiple partition also. Okay. So whenever you install Windows operating system, so by default from Windows also we have a tool. So to use that tool, you have to open control panel. So open a control panel. You can use a command like control. Just open control panel, and by default you have a screen like this, category screen. Okay. And here by default, sometimes you don't get the option. So here you have to click categories, and here you have to say small icon. So when you go to small icon, so here you can see there are multiple options, user account and everything. And the option we have here, we have Windows backup and restore. Okay. So with the help of this option, we are going to take a backup. We can also restore the backup. Okay. So the first condition is you have to take a backup, then you can plan for the restore. So what backup you want, you can decide here. Okay. And one more thing, like if you want to take a backup of your complete machine, let's say this is my computer where I have application. I also have a lot of data on my computer. So my question is like, I want to take complete backup of a machine. So whenever, if you want to take a backup of your complete machine or complete computer, so what we need to do, you have to open control panel. On the top of control panel, we'll be having many options. Okay. So just now, like I have shown you. So you just go control panel. Then we already have an option here, backup and restore. So here we have two main options. So when you open control panel, so control panel, we have an option here. The option we call as backup and restore. So just click this option, backup and restore. And here we'll be getting the option from where you can take the backup. Okay. So the first option here we have create a system image. So apart from that, even we also have option like you can take a backup, means you can schedule here. Okay. So first we'll talk about like what is system image backup. Then we'll see what is the normal backup, like if you want to take a backup of a particular file, particular folder, particular drive, anything you want data, you can take with the help of this option. Okay. And with the help of this, even you can also do the schedule. But here we have the option create a system image. So once you click this option, so what is the system image? System image, a copy of drive required for Windows to run. Okay. So normally system image is actually a backup of your complete Windows. Windows means, so here we'll be talking about the C drive. It's actually a backup of C, where you have your complete operating system. Even in operating system, whatever application you install, so it is going to even take a backup of all the application backups. Okay. So it can also include additional drive. Okay. So the computer, let's say this is my machine, and system image is actually a backup of C drive. But apart from C, on the same computer, you also have D, you also have E, or you may also have other partitions. Okay. So by default, it is going to take a backup of C drive. But if you want, you can also take a backup of D, and you can also include E. And you can keep the backup somewhere in separate hard disk. Means if you have external drive, on the top of external drive, you can able to store the backup. So in future, again, so why I'm taking all this backup? Now system image can be used to restore your computer if your hard drive or computer ever stop working. So in future, if something happens to any partition here, let's say my operating system is corrupted, maybe something happened to my partition B, or maybe by mistake I format E drive. So what I can do now, I can able to recover, I can able to restore complete backup here. Okay. But however, you cannot choose individual item to restore. Okay. So after taking backup, means if I take a system image backup, after taking backup, maybe on the desktop I have a file, I have a folder, and if that file and folder deleted, so we are not using this backup only to recover a particular item. Okay. So this backup we actually use to recover the complete operating system. Apart from operating system, it can also include the other partitions. Okay. So here the machine is asking where you want to save the backup. So before the backup, recover, before the backup take, So always it asks you in which location you want to save your backup so that future with that location you can able to recover. So the first option we have, you can keep the backup on hard disk. So what about hard disk here? Let's say I open my computer. So here you can see the machine right now where I'm sitting. I have two partitions. One of the partition is C and another partition is E. Now, if you have another partition, you can also have multiple. So right now I'll be taking backup of C. So this backup I can able to store on E drive. So you cannot keep the backup on a partition where the backup of partition which you are taking. Okay. So if you are taking backup of C, you cannot keep the backup inside C only. So the backup you have to keep inside the E partition. Okay. So on the hard disk, second option we have, you can also keep the backup on DVDs. If you are keeping the backup on DVD, what actually happened here? Let's say I'm taking backup of C drive here. Okay. So right now the size available for my C is 146 GB and the free space almost like 70 GB. Okay. So my question here is like how many drive, how many how many DVDs we need to save the backup. So if you want to keep the backup in DVD, you need that much DVDs. Okay. So if you are taking backup of 150 GB, you have to calculate complete 150 GB. Every DVD size support like 4.7 GB. Okay. So it will take a long time as well as you need to have multiple DVDs. Okay. So DVDs method is outdated. Apart from DVD, what you can do, you can take a backup in a network location. Okay. Network location in the sense, let's say this is my personal computer and I'll be taking backup of my C drive. Okay. Sometimes the backup where I want to keep here, I don't have any other partition. I don't have only, I have only one partition in my computer to keep a backup. Even I don't have external hard disk, but I also have another laptop. So what I can do, so whatever the backup which I'm taking here, so this backup I can keep inside this other machine. I make a share folder here and I'll give, I make a network, I'll give connectivity, I'll give IP address. Then I make a share folder. That share folder location I'll give here. The name of the machine is maybe like TC2 and the name of the share folder is like backup. So here I can also store the backup in network with the help of a share folder. Okay. Then when we use this, in case if you don't have multiple partitions, if you don't have external hard disk, then we can also decide, I can also keep the backup in network. So here I'll give the name of that machine and the name of the share folder. And here you also give the name and password of that particular device. In work group, you also require, the name and password of destination computer whenever you try to access the share. That's what the main problem in work group network. Okay. So the backup where I'm, the machine where I'm sitting, I have two partitions. So I'm taking backup of C and this backup I want to keep on E drive. So I just select this. So I'll be selecting E partition here. Next. And here you can say backup. Okay. Instead of that, now see this practical I'm showing in my virtual machine. Instead of that, suppose if I go to my personal computer and here if I open control panel. So where is control panel? So here also I have option backup and restore. And here I'll select system image recovery. Create system image. Now you have to understand something here. So the machine where I'm sitting, I'm keeping in E drive. Instead of E, even I also have another partition. I can maybe keep my backup on D or maybe on E. But one of the warning message is saying here, the drive selected is on the same physical disk. Means the hard disk there, the machine where I'm using hard disk, in my hard disk I have C partition, I also have D, I also have E partition. So these three partitions for me, in my computer, these three partitions are available. Okay. So normally what I want, if the physical hard disk that I'm using, I'll be using three partition here. So I'm taking backup of this C partition. So this backup, suppose if I'm keeping on E, so what happens if something happens to your hard disk? If my hard disk fails, so not only it is going to corrupt my operating system, it also deletes, it also corrupts E partition. That means all the partition belongs to the same hard disk. Okay. So make sure, when you take a backup, you should store the backup on a different hard disk, or, where you can, even it may be your internal hard disk, it may be external hard disk, but it should be a separate. Otherwise, it will give you a warning message. Next. And here, I'll taking backup of C. There is another option is available here. Why? Because right now, this computer, we have three partitions. I'm taking backup of C and I'm maintaining the backup on E drive. But at the time of creating a backup, it also asking, you want to even take a backup of D drive? So if you want, you can put a check mark here. Okay. Okay. So space required to save the backup is almost like 80 GB, but the destination hard disk, the destination partition, I have only 60 GB. Okay. So don't do the backup if you don't have space. Just I'm giving example to create a backup. So there might not enough space to backup selected drive. Either remove one or more drive or go back and choose different location to save the backup. Okay. So we'll be talking here. So we can go next. And here you can say backup. So what it will do? Again, it will take some time. It is going to take complete backup of your machine. So this backup include all your application, all your, all the data of your computer. Whatever we have, it is going to create a backup here. That is, especially like I'm taking a backup of these, right? So right now I don't have a lot of things here. Now, instead of that, we also have another option here, setup backup. So it will take complete backup of your machine. But let's say, suppose I want to take a backup of a particular file. I have E drive. I have a folder here, India. So I want to take a backup of this folder. Only one particular file, one particular folder. So you have to go with this option. You can say set up backup. Okay, so it maybe give a. So already backup is running here. I cancel. I'll show you my personal machine. Now, so here you can say. So in my personal machine, I already created this backup. So this option comes when you set up. Like there was an option there. When you click setup backup, and when you already decide like what to backup and what kind of backup you want. So once you've done that, you'll be getting a screen like this. Here you can say backup now. You can, if you have already scheduled. So when you click like set up backup, here it will give the first screen like this. So first of all, here also it will try to ask you like where you want to save the backup. So right now, either you keep the backup on D, you can also keep backup on E, next, and what kind of backup you want, you can say, let me choose what backup I want. And from here, you can select. So what backup you want to take a backup from the C drive, you want to take a backup from D, you want to take a backup from E. So here you can just select. So let's say I want to take a backup of a folder, my picture folder, next, and here you can also schedule. So this backup, at what time you want to run this? You want to take a backup monthly, weekly, daily. So daily if you want, then at what time you want the backup of this particular folder takes place. You know, I'm taking a backup. What kind of backup I'm taking? So I'll be deciding to take a backup of this D drive. You can also change that. So daily you want to take a backup. Weekly means once in a week. At what time you want? Or you want to take backup monthly. Monthly means at what day? 10th of every month, 9th of every month. You can select the timing and you can say save and run the backup. Okay. So what will happen here? So that backup automatically run every month. 6 means every 9th of day, the backup is automatically done. Save and exit. Okay. So right now the backup is not going to done. So that backup is going to take place 9th of May. The timing will be like 6 a.m. in the morning. So once the backup done, automatically you also get a report. Till then, let us understand. So now let us understand like when actually Microsoft introduced the backup. Backup is not it's not totally a new concept in the market. Backup already came before many years. Like when I can say when Microsoft introduced the operating system, where you start storing the data on a hard disk. From that particular time, we even have backup concept. Okay. So based on different version, we also have different applications, different the tools. Okay. So at least we'll try to understand here. So when Microsoft introduced one version, so one of the version we have like 2000 as well as 2003. If I'm taking backup on 2003 or 2000 server, so previously there was a tool by default available from Microsoft. The name of the tool we call NT backup. Okay. Even previously we used to have old client like XP. We also have 98 operating system, 2000 professional, NT Millennium. So there were some clients. In that client also we used to have a backup utility. So the backup utility we call NT backup, new technology backup. And this option was available. You have to go start menu. On the top of the start menu, you will be having accessories. On accessory, you have to click system tool. In system tool, you will be getting this option, backup. Okay. So with the help of NT backup, now what we can do? Now you can take a backup of file. You can take a backup of folder. You can take a backup of partition. You can also take a backup of Active Directory. You can also take a backup of application. So that means you will be having a list. You can take backup whatever you like. So if I take a backup of particular file, if I want, I can take it. I can also take a backup of particular drive, particular folder, anything, whatever you like, you can take it. So it was a tool. The name of the tool was NT backup. So after 2003, when Microsoft introduced 2008 server, so instead of NT backup, Microsoft renamed the tool as Windows Server Backup. Okay. So in today's server, the name of the tool, the backup tool, which is by default available in server operating system, is Windows Server Backup. And the drawback for 2008, you can take only the backup of drive. That means, let's say this is my 2008 server. And here, suppose I have some partition like C. I also have D. I also have E. So that means I have multiple partitions. And every partition, suppose I'll be having hundreds of folders. Let's say 200 folder here. I also have 300 folders here. I also have 400 folder here. Okay. And one more thing, always you remember, whenever you keep the data on your computer, all the data is not important. Okay. Let's say, example, I have 300 folder. Apart from 300, maybe I have some project data here. I also download some images of operating system. I also download some applications. So for me, for me, images are not important. Even I can download one more time from anytime. Okay. Even I can download the application. So for me, that application and that softwares are not very, very important. So the important thing which I have here is project data. Means in day to day, whatever the project, whatever the task that we do on a company, so that information, whenever you save somewhere, for me, that information is important. Okay. If I go Google, if I go anywhere, for me, that information I cannot get from anywhere. Okay. So Google, you can get many things, but you cannot get the data what you deleted. Okay. You can get application, you can get, the software, you can get the images, but you cannot get the things whatever you create. Okay. So now, instead of 300, let's say for me only 20 folders are important. Rest of the folder I don't want. Okay. So if I want to take a backup of these 20 folder, you have to take complete backup of D partition, and it was the main drawback in 2008 server. So after that, when Microsoft introduced 2008 R2, then even we have 2012, then 2012 R2, then today we use 2016. Even in advance I'm writing in 2019 also. If you are taking backup, the name of the tool again we have same, Windows Server Backup. Tool is same, but we don't have a problem like 2008. So in today's time, if I'm taking backup of anything, so here you can take a backup of anything what you like. You can take a backup of file, folder, you can take a backup of application, AD, whatever you want, you can take. That means there is a list. From the top of list, you can select anything, you can take a backup. And here, even like previously in old time, we don't have a, we don't have a concept for the Hyper-V. So Hyper-V is started from 2008 R2. And from this version, not only we take a backup of all the files, means drive or a particular file, particular folder, application, or Active Directory. Even we can also take a backup of Hyper-V virtual machine. If you are running Hyper-V in these servers, so you can also configure the backup of the virtual machine. Okay. So this is like some of the differences between old and the new version. Okay. And remember, whenever you install server operating system, this tool is by default available, but you cannot take backup direct until you install this tool. You have to install this tool. So how to install? Practical, we'll see that. Okay. So what is asking here? So a system repair disk can be used to boot your computer. It also contains Windows recovery tools, which can help you to recover Windows from a serious error or re-image your computer from image. So he's asking, you want to make a disk? So I don't want. Close. So once you take a backup, so the backup will be maintained in your E drive. You have two partitions here. So one of the partition is like, see, there is E partition where I also have a backup here. You see, Windows image backup. So how we use this image to recover, I'll show you. Okay. So let's talk about the server now. Recovery, I'll show you. So now I'm logging to my server. So first of all, how to take a backup in server, right? So server, by default, we have a tool. Where do you see that tool? So to see that tool, you have to go Windows Accessories. In Windows Accessories, we have a direct option, Windows Server Backup. Okay, but I'll tell you, if you want to perform the backup here, you need to install this tool from Server Manager. So this tool is not by default available. So What is saying here? So he's saying, so Windows Server Backup is not installed on this computer. To install Windows Server Backup, you need to open Server Manager. From Server Manager, you have to click Add Roles and Features and follow the wizard to select the Windows Server Backup feature. And remember, this is a feature. So when you open Server Manager, we have two main options. One is Role and Feature. So backup available in feature pane. Okay. So I open my Server Manager. Server Manager, I have to click Roles and Features. Role based and feature based. Next. So the machine where I'm installing this tool, the name of the server is DC1 and the name of my domain is onlinemcsa.com and the IP which I'm using here 10.11 and this is my 2016 standard edition. So the same which we have all the time. And the first screen I told you we have roles. So if you go here, you cannot see the option like Windows Server Backup. So Windows Server Backup option available inside the feature pane. So leave it as it is and go the next option. So the next option we have features. So you have to go down and try to put check mark to Windows Server Backup. Here we have the option. Okay. So what is this option? So Windows Server Backup allow you to back up your data and recover your data, recover your operating system, application, and data. So you can schedule backup and protect the entire server or specific value. Okay. So with the help of this tool, either you take a backup of a particular folder, you can take a backup of your complete operating system. You can also take a backup of your application. You can also take a backup of the particular folder, particular file, particular partition. Whatever you want, you can do it. So first, install this tool. Next, and install. But in a real time, the company, they never use this kind of tool. Okay. So as I told you, in real scenarios, the company actually go with some application. Okay. Applications are, where you have more features compared to the default tools. Okay. So what kind of application we use in server side? One of the application we have. So this application is very famous, VM. Okay. One of the application we have Symantec. Symantec. So this is also very famous application. Okay. You also have Acronic. You also have, Veritas. Multiple applications are available. If you are using storage, on our storage again, we also have Tivoli Storage Manager, means TVM. Okay. So there will be multiple names we have in a market. Okay. So based on the requirement, if I'm using especially like a storage from HP, I use my HP application. If I'm using IBM, then I'll be using IBM application. So depending on like what type of storage you are using, what type of the application you want, you can use it. Okay. So the installation is done. I close it. So once you install, one more time, like when you go start and when you go accessories, in accessories you get the option again, Windows Server Backup, or if you want, you can even keep a tile like. Windows Server Backup, click. So when we open first time, it was giving some error like you cannot take backup, you need to install from Server Manager. But after the installation, it will not say you have to install. So here the computer will say no backup has been configured for this machine. Okay. So here we'll be having two main options to take a backup. One of the options we have here, schedule. So it's loading here. So he is saying no backup has been configured for this machine. use backup schedule wizard or backup one wizard to perform a regular or one-time backup. That means here there will be two main backup here. Either we have regular backup or one-time backup. Based on that, we have the two options here. Okay. So if you want a regular backup, that is schedule backup, or if you need one-time backup, then you can go with the option backup one. Okay. See, both options are important. Okay. So one of the options we used to have regular backup. Regular in the sense, let's say I have a partition here D. On the D drive, some data is important. So for me, like every day, I'm keeping a lot of files, lot of information here. So for me, it is not possible all the time. Like daily, I have to take backup, compulsory. Okay. So what I can do, I can schedule. I can set up one backup in my server. So what my server will do? So when the time comes, automatically the backup of this folder will be taken by my server. That is called a schedule. We can take regular. That backup we call automatic backup. Once the time comes, your server will take automatic backup of that folder. One more option we have like backup one. So this backup will take only one time. Means if I take a backup of a folder here, so only one time the backup will be done. In future, if something happens, now with the help of that backup, we can also recover. So first we'll talk about the schedule backup. So backup schedule. So whenever you want to schedule, always you have to keep some of the point in your mind. Okay. So the first thing it will ask you like what to backup. To create a schedule backup, first you decide what. The first thing, decide what to backup. You want to take a regular backup of complete machine, or you want to take a regular backup of system state. System state means here we are talking about AD backup. You want to take a regular backup of selected file, selected folder, or selected volume. So volume means here you can say drive, volume means you can say partition. Okay, so all are the same thing. Okay, so that means suppose if I'm sitting on a server, so what kind of backup you want to schedule? You want to schedule a complete backup of your server, or you want to take only the backup of AD here, or you want to schedule backup of only D drive, or you want to take a backup of only a project folder. So what type of backup you can, what type of backup you want to take it? Okay, according to the requirement you have to select. Okay. The second thing, let's say I want to take a backup of particular folder. So the second thing it will ask you now when and how often to backup. Okay, I want to take a backup of this folder. What folder? Maybe I'm going to take a backup of this project folder. So when you want the backup of this folder takes place, but because this is automatic backup and this is a regular backup. So this backup at what time you want, you can decide the time, you can decide the date. Every time you have to do that. Okay. So I'll say, okay, every day 10 p.m. Now I want the backup of this folder take place. So I'll do the setting here 10 p.m. And the last option is ask you now where do you want to save this backup? Okay. Okay, my server taking backup of this folder. So where actually this backup saves? So backup either you can save on separate hard disk. This is the safest method. Hard disk. You can also keep the backup on volume. Volume means drive. Or you can also keep backup on network, that is on a shared folder. Okay. So you decide. So if you want, this server also have another hard disk. So whenever the backup done, the backup of these folder will be maintained on separate hard disk. This is a safest method. Suppose if something happen even to the hard disk, your backup is available on separate hard disk. Now, if you don't have separate hard disk, now let's say on the same hard disk, I also have E partition. So what I can do, whenever the backup done, I want to keep the backup on this separate partition. That is also possible. Or even you can also keep the backup on another server. So whenever the backup is done, that backup will be maintained on separate server. So decide this. Next. So it will ask you like you want to take a backup of full machine right now, or you want to take a backup of custom. Custom means let me choose what to backup. And remember, we will not take complete backup of server regularly. It takes a lot of space as well as, it will take a lot of time. So we'll be taking backup of particular folder. So what backup you want? You can select from here. You can say add item. So I have a C drive. From C, I want to take some backup here, Azure. And this will be scheduled. I'm not taking backup right now. This will be, even this is not one-time backup. This is a continuous backup. Okay. So whatever you want, you can decide here. Okay. It's not only from C. You can also take a backup here. System state means this is your AD backup. You can also take a backup here, G. So whatever you want, you can take it. Okay. So in my case, I'll be taking backup of a particular folder, Azure. I'll say okay. Next. And here now is asking at what time you want the backup of Azure folder will take by your server. So by default, it is going to take 9 p.m. So I don't want 9 p.m. Let's say I want 10 p.m. And this will be only one time. Even if you want, you can say more than once. Not only 9 p.m. I also want 9 a.m. So 2 times the backup of that folder will take place. Morning 9 a.m., evening 9 p.m. Next. And the last option, it will ask you now this backup in which location you want to save. As I told you, so either you keep the backup on separate hard disk, we can keep the backup on separate drive. We can also keep the backup on network location. Okay. So I'll be showing a practical on a separate volume. Why? Because what I have done in my server, I'll be having multiple partitions. So this is my computer. So right now I'm taking backup of Azure. So whenever the backup of Azure done, so that backup in which partition you want to save? You want to save on G, or you want to save on F, or you want to save on E? And one more thing you remember, if the partition is formatted by FAT doesn't support a backup technology. So neither you take a backup of this partition, even you cannot recover the data, whatever the data deleted from FAT32 partition. Okay. So I'm taking backup something from C. Even I cannot keep the backup on a partition which is formatted by FAT. So compulsory you have to format your partition by NTFS. This is one more feature of NTFS. So I'll go one more time. I'll be keeping the backup on separate volume. In which volume? So right now you can see it's showing F or G. Instead of, apart from that, see, I don't have only F or G, even I also have E drive. But here it is not showing E. Why? Because E is formatted by FAT32. If I format that partition by NTFS, now even that option also comes in. So I want to keep on F drive and next, and it will be finished. And don't think the backup it is going to take right now. So this backup will take place morning 9 a.m. or evening 9 p.m. So according to the server time, the backup will take place. So right now it's 2:30 a.m. So the first backup will take place morning 9 a.m. You can see. So you have successfully created the backup schedule. The first backup schedule will happen when May 5th, 2020, 9 a.m. Close. Okay. And when you join a company, if you want to know is there any schedule backup, so you can click. If it's already scheduled, it will show you. So for me, showing all the options here. Now I have selected some of the files from C drive, and backup time every day 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And this backup will be stored on F drive. Sometime, suppose every day the backup is stored. So maybe after 1 year, the destination partition is full. Every day backup of a folder Azure. So whatever I selected, it is going to take complete backup of Azure. So it is going to keep the backup on F drive. So F, let's say I have only 60 GB. So day by day, we have all the backups. So one day, maybe after 1 year, suppose this F partition is full. Then after some time, you're automatically getting error. So why? Because if there is no space to store the backup, you get errors. So from here, what we can do, we can able to modify the location. You can select this one. And sometimes, I want to change this. I don't want to see, maybe I want some other partition. Custom. From here, you can even decide. I don't want Azure. Maybe I'll change the backup of other folders. Okay. Even I don't want 2 times. I want only 9 p.m. Then is asking like keep current backup destination. No, I want to change. Why? Because backup partition is full. I can also decide instead of E, remove this. I'll keep on G, next, and finish. So previously it was F drive. Now the backup will be maintained on G drive. So like this, you can do the modification. So this is called schedule. The meaning of schedule means the backup will take place when the time comes. So this backup will not do right now. If you want to take a backup right now, then you have to go with the option backup 1. This is called only one-time backup. Just now we schedule. This is regular. Every day 9 p.m. the backup will take place. So backup 1. So here is asking what were the backup you already scheduled. Means instead of waiting 9 p.m. you want to take a backup right now for the scheduled backup, or you want to take a backup with different, means whatever you schedule, I don't want to take backup from scheduled backup. I want to take right now the backup of some other data, maybe like some other partition, some other folder, some other file, which is located on different location. So I'll go with the option here, different option. And here we'll be having 2 main options, full server as well as custom. Okay. So at least one time we have to go with the option full server. So what it will do, it will take a backup of all your partition, whatever the partition available in your server. Okay. So future, in maybe if your hard drive failed or if something happened to your machine, if your computer stopped working, now with the help of these backup, we can also recover that. Okay. So I'll show you. So first, let me go with the option custom. Means I want to select some other thing. So here I want to take a backup right now, maybe India or maybe MCSE data. 2 folder backup I'm taking, and this backup where you want to save. So the backup I want to save on the local hard disk, or you can also keep on network location. So I don't have network here. Next, and here I'll be keeping on. See, if I try to keep on E, so directly it will try to show you the error. So the selected volume uses unsupported file system. So E is partition. E is one of the partition combined by FAT. So FAT you cannot keep backup, even you cannot take a backup. So I can select F, next, and backup. So now what we'll do? So right now it is going to take a backup of India as well as MCSE data. So it will not wait for 9 p.m. So this is called one-time backup. Right now the backup is going to take place. Okay, now the backup is completed. So wherever the backup is done, you actually get a report here. So that report gives you complete information. So the backup is completed, status is completed. Okay, I'll close. So here you can see the information. If I say view details, so it will say the last backup done, completed. Now, once you have done backup, now what I do, I'll go to that location. And now I have taken a backup of India as well as MCSE data. So both the folder I'm going to delete. See, if you have a backup, you delete 100 times, there is no issue. So I press Shift plus Del, even if I go the recycle bin. So in recycle bin also, the files and folders are not available. That is completely deleted. Now even I'll say empty recycle bin. So nothing we have in recycle bin. Even I'm not using any application. Okay. So if you use this tool, there is an option here. We can also recover. So you can only recover the data whatever you deleted. Means whatever the backup you have done, you can only recover that folder. Okay. Instead of India, instead of MCSE data, if I delete something else from C drive, suppose if I delete VMware folder, I cannot recover because right now I don't have a backup. Okay. In that time, if you have application, now that application you can recover that. Now we go with the option recovery. So when you click recovery, first it will ask you, now where is your backup? In which computer you are maintaining backup? The backup is on the same machine or you have a separate machine. So right now the backup I maintain on the same physical server. So here I'm selecting this server. Next, and which backup you want to recover. So here also we have very important. So right now I have a list here. So on 5th of May 2020, the timing is 2:40 a.m. The backup is done. Okay. Let's say on 5th May, I have taken a folder India backup. At what time? Let's say 2 p.m. Okay. On 5th May, I also take a backup of VMware folder at 3 p.m. Even on the same day, I also take a backup here, India, and this backup I have done 9 p.m. That means one day I have taken a lot of backup. Okay. So you have to remember here, what backup you want to recover. Okay. The time is, the date is 5th. Okay. But here you have to select the time. If I go with the option like 2 p.m., so that means it is going to show you the India file. If I select 3 p.m., it is going to show you the VMware files. If I select 9 p.m., it is going to show you India. So depending on like what backup you want to recover, what data you want to recover, you have to select the proper time. Okay. So right now I have only one option here. Why? Because I just have only one backup. So I'm going to select the same. And here it will ask you, what do you want? So I'm going to recover the files and folders. Next. And when I did backup on 5th May, so what's the backup? The backup I have done for 2 folders. One is India as well as MCSE data. Even sometimes what happened here, I lost only India. So MCSE data is there. So I want to recover only India folder. So you can only put check mark to India. You can say next. If you want to recover only MCSE, you can also recover that. Okay, but in my case, I'm recovering both. So both the folder I'm recovering. Next. Okay. And the last option, it will ask you now, in which location you want to recover. You want to recover on original location. Means original means from where you deleted, it is going to recover on the same location. You can also recover in another location. Another means you can also recover on different. You can recover on desktop. You can recover on other partition. And one of the things you need to understand here, when these are find item in the backup that are already in recovery destination. So I'm recovering India. So where I'm recovering? So I'll be recovering on original, that is C drive. What happens if in C drive, the name of the folder is already exists? Then what it is going to do? If you go with the first option, what it will do? Create copy so that you have both versions. So India is there. Again, it is going to recover India. Both India will be there. It will overwrite existing versions with the recover. Okay. So what it will do? It is going to see, is there any overwrite thing? Means the folder which is already there. Suppose here there are 20 files. And the file, the India which I'm recovering, there are 25, maybe like 30. Okay. So what is going to do? Now again it is going to overwrite 30. And one of the options we have like do not recover items which are already exist. Means if already India is available, don't recover that. So you can go with any option. So you can go with the first option, you can go with the second, you can go with the third, depends on. So I don't want to recover, this is already exists, and recover. So how much time it takes? So the recovery which I'm doing is just having only some KBs of data, 13 KB, 8 KB. So it will not take, lot of time. So done, close it. You also get a recovery, successfully done. When you open my computer, when you see your location, C drive, so here you can see, I got the folder India. Even I also get MCSE data. Not only I got a folder, even I also got the data. So this is how we can recover. Even if I delete one more time, I can recover 100 times. This is your recovery. Okay. So one more time, let's see. I want to take a backup of complete machine. Cancel this. Now, one more thing I want to show here. There is a partition formatted by path, and that partition contains some data, some folders. Sometimes you get a situation if I try to format a partition E, so what it will do? It will say the formatting erase all data. So the partition which I'm using here, E partition, I want to make this partition by NTFS. Okay? But even data is also important for me. Whatever the data which is available right now, I want the data as well as I want this partition should be available for NTFS. Okay? So if you right click and if you say format, so what it's going to do, it is going to erase all the data. Okay? So I want the data as well as I want this partition come to NTFS. So right now, if I go properties, the default, right now the file system is FAT32. Okay. So what I can do now, I'll show you one command where you can convert. Okay. So we have a simple command, convert. What partition we are converting? The partition is E partition. Convert E colon. FS to NTFS. Okay. So the slash is backward slash. Convert E. So this is the command. Convert E, the drive colon space. So here I made a mistake. I have not given space after slash. So before the slash, you have to give space. FS means file system to NTFS. So right now the machine saying the type of file system is FAT32. So here is asking enter current volume label for drive E. Volume label means he is asking the name. The volume name is new volume. Use that name. New volume. Enter. So now it is going to convert that partition to NTFS. So without deleting your data, without formatting your data. Okay. So this command is very useful. So remember all the time this command. Now I close it. First of all, let me see the data. All the folders are same. But now if I see my partition file system. So now it comes to MCSE. Okay. So partition formatted as well as even data also remain same. Reverse is not possible. You cannot reverse. Means from NTFS you cannot go fat. Okay. So low to high you can go, but high to low version you cannot go. Okay. Now let me show you, like I want to take complete backup of a machine. Why? Because right now you can see this is my server. On the top of server I have all the partition, and for me the data is also important. Now this server, I also have Active Directory. Okay. So I'm not doing anything right now. So once I take a backup, I can also delete whatever you want. Okay. So right now this is my AD and all the objects are available here. So what I want, let me see first how we take a backup of server. To take a backup, I can open Windows Server Backup. And I don't want to schedule. I want to take right now, one-time backup. So we go with the option backup once. So it's asking you want to do the backup whatever you have scheduled. No, I don't want this. I want to take separate. So here I'll be selecting the option full server backup. So what is going to do? It is going to include, like I want to back up all my server data, application and system state. And the total size is taking 13 GB. Next, so where you want to keep backup? So I'll keep backup on my same computer. So either you can keep on E or you can also keep on F. So I'll keep on F drive. So the drive which I'm selecting is giving warning. So the selected value is also included in the list of item to backup. Means this is my hard disk. On the top of hard disk, I have C drive, I have D, I, E, F, E drive, F, G. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm taking backup of complete server. So complete server means a complete hard disk backup. So in that hard disk, this F drive is also included. Okay. So here you have to say, so do you want to exclude this volume from backup item? Means you want to backup all the partition except F drive? Yes. So here it will take some time. Why? Because it will take a backup of complete 13 GB. Now the backup is done. See, once you have done the complete backup, it takes all the time. Means it takes at least minimum 10 to 15 minutes. So now we have taken all the backup of our server. Now do anything what you like. Okay. So after taking backup, now what I can do, let's say this is my C partition, and here I have a lot of files and folders. I delete everything. One of the partition I'm going to format. See, E, I have just some data, right? Maybe by mistake somebody formatted this partition, so I don't have any. I no need to worry. Why? Because I have a backup. Future I can recover that. Not only that, even I also have G partition. So once you have done the backup, you get a report here. So I just close that. So we have successfully done. So what is this? So this is your C backup, G backup, E backup, all the backup of your machine. It also includes system state. See, this is the backup of all this information. So after that, what I have done, I deleted some of the folders from C drive, like Azure, MCSE data. Some of the data I deleted. And what I did, so previously like I stored some data on E, this partition I formatted. Okay, so right click, I can say format. Okay, but don't do anything to F drive. Why? Because F is your key. From here you are recurring. Okay, this is the location where I save my complete backup. Or if you want, you can also delete some of users group. Even if you want, you delete your computer. Okay, I'll be deleting all my users and groups. So don't do this unless until you have a backup. Okay. So many accounts I deleted. And now if I want to use, if I want to log in, the computer will directly give you error. Make sure the name and passwords are correct. Okay. Now the thing is how to recover. So recovery is very simple. So in the last session, we talk about resetting password. Okay. So that practical is actually we use to recover our operating system. Okay. So in that time, we were getting error like no image, but we have done our system image here. So what we need to do, you have to restart and you have to insert the DVD of operating system. Okay. So how we can get it DVD? So DVD you have your settings. Now restart your server and boot from your DVD or boot from your USB. So it doesn't matter like how you want, you can boot it. I power it off. Now power on. Now first I'll go my BIOS and here I'm going to select the proper boot option. So I'll be booting from my CD. So this is our 2016 server. Next, and we are not installing a new operating system. Here I'm going to click option repair computer. Same troubleshoot system image recovery. Okay. So that is the reason like first I have shown you the practical for resetting password so that the screen will become familiar to you. System image recovery. So when you click, now automatically it will try to select the image. So searching. So automatically you see now that image is already available. But last time we get error here. So no image found. So in that time, even we are not going to record the image. So we go advanced, then we go somewhere. So now we have automatically image. You can go next. And here you can go next. So the recovery is very simple here. Finish. So what is saying here? All the data on the drive to be restored will be replaced with the data in the system image. So are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So again, it will take 2-3 minutes here or 5 minutes maximum. Once the completion done, so it's asking to restart, you can restart here. So now what it will do, it will restart, and when you log in, you get all your data, whatever the data you have deleted, and something happens, everything will be as it is. Look. Now we got login. Now let's first I open the partition. So the thing which I deleted from C drive, if I open, you see all the data remains same, Azure, India, and everything. I formatted E drive, even for me, like all the E drive data is available. Like this, whatever you have done, you can see it. I deleted some account from my AD. I open Active Directory user and computer. So you do anything, whatever you want, you can able to restore your complete computer to the previous machine. Even like in G drive also we have many things. All accounts are available. Nothing is affected. G is also available. Okay. So this is our backup class. So hope you understand.